right man will value you just for you existing, not changing the characteristics that you already come with just to please him.
Black women did have different issues than black men. However, they were not the same struggle. Dealing with sexism and misogyny and misogynoir, where black men didn't have to deal with any of that.
Men who are married. Oh, I wasn't just sleeping with, a married man. I wasn't just someone's mistress.
Where are my classy women at? Do y'all even still exist? Because at this point, throw the whole generation of women away. Because y'all do not value yourselves at all.
So a guy that she's only been dating about 3 or 4 months booked a trip for them to Cancun, Mexico for her birthday. He bought the plane tickets, he bought an Airbnb, and he said, the only thing I need for you to do is help buy the groceries and we'll take turns cooking. And any man enough to invite you out of the country should be man enough to pay for the entire trip.
All right, y'all, another one of the compilations that I like to put together. Let me say this with the house cleaning before we get started. For those who've been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door, for me, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Every video engagement helps promote me into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now let's get it. Drop the video. Let's go.
Men do not like bitches. They like women they like. So you do not need to change your openness and vulnerability and loving characteristics to get someone to appreciate you, because you will never be enough for the wrong man. The right man will value you just for you existing, not changing the characteristics that you already come with just to please him.
You know what? I agree with her. Like 100%. You shouldn't have to change who you are for someone. And you should also be able to vet that person and realize that if your standards, morals, values don't align, then y'all cannot rock with one another, because you're going to get into a situation where you're constantly compromising who you are to get along in a relationship, which is not a good idea for either gender, man or woman. I don't advise any person to be in a relationship with someone who you cannot fully be yourself for. Now, the only thing I disagree with is the whole just existing thing. Like, you do have to bring something to the table, right? And it doesn't have to be a tangible. It has to be, a lot of times for men, it's something that's intangible. Your femininity, your nurturing, your support, your loyalty, your lack of promiscuity, keeping yourself chaste and exclusive with that man. So I agree with her 90%, except for that last just existing and value thing. I don't really get what she will, where she was going with that. But everything else she said, I actually agree with. And I think, this young lady has her head on correctly. And I think that, she's, a very attractive young lady. I'm sure if she keeps this ideology, she'll find someone that'll be willing to build a future and a life with her. So good job, young lady. Let's go to the next one.
This is going to sound crazy, and I don't even care about how it's about to come off. But let me address this stupidity real quick. Black women did have different issues than black men. However, they were not the same struggle. We both dealt with racism. But then black women were also dealing with sexism and misogyny and misogynoir, where black men didn't have to deal with any of that. I don't like how y'all are really quiet about the fact that they're taking away women's rights, because yet again, y'all only care about your issue when it affects you. But what's been so interesting about me being vocal about the black woman experience, the queer black woman experience in America on this here clock app, is that white women seem to be a lot more open to listening. White women have been a little bit more apologetic. White women know that they're wrong. And at least the white women I come across are trying to do something about it. The black men, though,
Boo! Boo! Boo!
Of course, as always, women of this ilk, typically from the LGBTQ community who are not in relationships with men, always have this ideology that black women have different struggles than black men. And okay, to a degree in modern times, sure. But to pretend that the greater society sees your gender before your blackness is completely absurd. Do you think supremacists care about what's dangling between your legs? No, they care about your blackness. Your blackness is the problem, not your gender. And I can't stand women like this when they get on these social media platforms with their black womanist feminist ideology, espousing modern concepts that are not even part of a long gone era. They didn't give a shit about your gender during Jim Crow. They gave a shit about the fact that you were black. That's it. Nothing more. And this misogynoir nonsense, this sexism mixed with racism that black women claim that black men do to them, or whatever, white men or whoever is doing this misogynoir to you, it's just asinine. Because again, they're not mistreating you because of your gender. They're mistreating you because of who you are, something that you cannot get rid of, your blackness. And I get sick and tired of black feminists and this pseudo-intellectual take on their struggles. Your struggles first start with your blackness and end with your blackness. Anything else in between is just a bonus for the people that actually hate you, and it ain't black men. And this whole thing she ended with, that white women care more about black women's issues than black men. Girl, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. White women have used you like they've always used y'all, to get them into a position as a pseudo minority to gain power, and then they hoard that power to themselves and forget about y'all entirely.
I'm gonna need for y'all to stop chasing after men who are broke, men who are uneducated, men who are married. Oh, I wasn't just sleeping with, a married man. I wasn't just someone's mistress. I did some other freaking digging, sneaking shit. You know why? I was deeply in love. And I thought I was going to marry him. And no, he wasn't making all of these promises to be with me and that he was going to leave his wife.
Another one that talks out of both sides of her neck. On one hand, don't be with married men. And on the other hand, you had a baby with a married man. Like, when are y'all going to learn that these people are nothing more than part of the black trauma hustle? Like, they hustle trauma to black women. I call it the black trauma hustle. It's very lucrative, and women like her has made a killing by doing this hustle. They will tell you one thing while do something else. This is what they do. They're going to do what they want to do while telling you to do something else. She'll tell you it's bad to sleep with a married man, but she'll turn around and do it and even have a baby with this man. Y'all got to stop listening to these talking heads. They're just telling you things. They're basically pandering to you to make moolah. It's a hustle, the black trauma hustle. She's one of the faces of it. I don't know what to tell y'all. Stop being gullible. Stop falling for this nonsense. This woman is not an example of someone to follow. She's an example of someone who's hustling you for the paper. Get out of here, Sansaray. Let's go to the next one.
I'm going to be honest, ladies. I'm tired of the thirsty posts. I'm tired of seeing you in the living room with your booty shorts on twerking. I'm tired of you talking about how good your cat is, how you can suck it, how you can ride it, how you can do tricks on it, and all this other type of mess. Where are my classy women at? Do y'all even still exist? Because at this point, throw the whole generation of women away. Because y'all do not value yourselves at all.
Why don't you put her in charge? I would say to this young lady, the reason that you're not seeing a lot of classy women is because of media. Media is gonna put to the forefront the trash. And unfortunately, black women's ethnic image has been ruined by not only black women, but by the powers that be constantly propagating these negative stereotypes of you in the public eye. And it's sad because I know a vast majority of black women don't behave like the Sexy Reds and the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions and the Ice Spices. I know that the majority of black women don't behave like these women or carry themselves like these women. But let's be honest here, a lot of you support their media. And when you support their media, you're basically saying with your wallet, you support this representation of your ethnic image. So if you want to tear this image down as a black woman, you got to start calling your fellow sisters out on their BS. You got to start calling other women or holding them accountable for these negative images. You got to tell them that, hey, this ain't us. Y'all gonna either stop it, we're not gonna support it, and we're gonna shut it down. And you gotta stop liking, sharing their content on social media, propping them up as if they speak for you, because in essence, they do speak for you if you're not pushing back against it. And I hate that young sisters like yourself have to be constantly lumped in with these people, because I don't know you on a personal level, young lady, and I'm sure you're nice and you're as sweet as you can be, because you made this post. It wasn't negative, it wasn't harmful, it wasn't defamatory or derogative. You're just saying, look, we got to get class back, and I applaud you for that. But unfortunately, the rest of your sisters may not support you on this one. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, so I have a friend, and she tells me that I was insulting and demeaning because she said that she was unhappy dating, and I told her she'll never be happy until she learns to think for herself. My friend turns 50 in June, and she's always wanted to go to Cancun, Mexico. So a guy that she's only been dating about 3 or 4 months booked a trip for them to Cancun, Mexico for her birthday. He bought the plane tickets, he bought an Airbnb, and he said, the only thing I need for you to do is help buy the groceries, and we'll take turns cooking. She said she thought it was a fantastic idea until she shared the idea with her friends, and they told her she should be insulted. How dare he insinuate that she should incur any expense on her birthday getaway weekend, and any man enough to invite you out of the country should be man enough to pay for the entire trip. She said she thought about it, and then she shared it with the guy that was going to take her to Cancun, and he said he understands and he'll take someone else. She said, what, now you don't want me to go? And he said, no, I wanted you to go, but this type of entitlement upsets me, and I don't think I want to go forward with this relationship. And I said, see, that's what you get for having catty witches in your business. And she said, don't disparage my friends. And I said, how many of them have been to Cancun? And she said, none. And I said, see, what are your thoughts?
Dummy, you big cold-blooded dummy, you big dummy.
My first thought is, and I say this with no disrespect to this gentleman or his friend, and this is no attempt to bully someone or to defame someone, but I got to be frank here. Your friend sounds stupid. Like a 50-year-old woman that needs validation from her peer group to help her figure out if this is a good deal or not. She's stupid.
Hell yeah, you are.
I mean, I don't know what else to say, because if you can't recognize jealousy and envy towards something that you're about to do from a catty group of women who have no other purpose but to shank you out of an opportunity, then I can't say anything else but you may be a little slow. You may be a little daft, because why in the hell would you go to someone and ask them if this is okay, if this is something you should do? Like, the man was taking you on a trip to Cancun, all expenses. Only thing you had to do was provide the food.
Stop, man. Why do you always come and kill the vibe with those things?
A fair deal is no robbery, ma'am. Someone should have taught you this. It's a fair deal. And you decided against it because you had a group of cackling hyenas tell you that because it's your birthday, you shouldn't have to pay for anything. What rule book did y'all get that out of? Show me the rule book where it says if it's on your birthday, you should not pay for anything. What rule book are y'all reading this nonsense out of? And you played yourself. So you might as well stick a quarter in your ass, because you definitely played yourself, ma'am. And your friend told you correctly. He told you right. You went to a group of cackling hyenas and asked them, was this cool?
And may God have mercy on your soul.
And of course, they talked you out of it. Talked you right out of a trip that none of them have ever been to. They've never been to Cancun, but they told you what they would or wouldn't do to go on a trip that they were not, for one, not invited on, and for two, have never been invited on. Get the hell out of here. Some of y'all have some serious growing up to do. Some of y'all need to recognize demons when they're in your midst. And this was definitely one of those times that you got played. Sorry that your friend is so part of the yellow bus, the short bus, that she got played out of a trip to Cancun, free expenses except for the food. That's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. I will see y'all in the credits. 2 fingers, peace. Y'all better stop listening to these crazy ass folks. I'm out of here.
I'm making a difference.
Like Jesus.
I don't ask for much from you. It's like you don't got the time to lose. Made me feel like I'm a bird.